It was a quiet night on Earth. The small town of Clearwater slept under a silver sky where the stars looked calm and peaceful, until one of them moved. At first, people thought it was a meteor. A streak of light crossed the sky, growing brighter and faster until it roared through the clouds and fell into the nearby forest. The ground shook, birds screamed, and every dog in town began to bark. Miles away, Dr. Aaron Wells, a lonely scientist living at the edge of the town, looked out of his window. He had seen many strange things in his life, but nothing like this. His computer screen blinked red with strange readings. The object wasn't just hot metal. It was giving off life signals. He grabbed his flashlight and ran toward the forest. The night was silent again, too silent. The smell of burned wood filled the air. Smoke rose from a deep crater glowing faintly blue. Aaron's heart raced. He stepped closer, covering his mouth from the heat. Inside the crater there was no spaceship. No metal, no engine. Just a small pod, cracked open, and lying beside it was a child. The girl was maybe 8 years old. Her skin had a soft silver glow. Her eyes were bright like tiny moons, and she was trembling. She looked both human and not. Aaron knelt beside her, slowly placing his coat around her shoulders.
Hey, it's okay, he whispered.
You're safe now, but the girl didn't speak. She looked straight into his eyes, scared but calm. And then she asked in a soft, broken voice, "Are you my father?" Aaron froze. That question hit him like a blade. He hadn't heard a child's voice in years. His own daughter had died in an accident 5 years ago. Since then, he had locked himself away from the world, living alone with his machines and regrets. But now, this strange child, this alien, was asking him that one question. He didn't know what to say. He just whispered, "No, I'm not." The girl blinked, tears forming in her silver eyes. "Then where is he?" Aaron felt something twist inside him. He looked around the crater, no sign of anyone else. Only burned trees and ashes. Whoever or whatever brought her here was gone. "Let's get you somewhere warm," he said. He lifted her gently, surprised at how light she was, like carrying air. As he walked back through the forest, she rested her head on his shoulder. He could feel her heartbeat, slow, strange, but alive. At his cabin, Aaron wrapped her in blankets. She looked around, studying everything. The books, the blinking lights of the computer, the glass of water on the table. Everything seemed new to her. She touched the water glass and whispered, "It moves." Aaron gave her a soft smile. "That's gravity. You'll get used to it." The girl tilted her head. "Gravity," she repeated slowly, as if learning the word for the first time. Aaron checked her pulse again. Her skin temperature was low, and her veins glowed faint blue under the light. He muttered, "You're not from here, are you?" She looked at him again, her small hands gripping the blanket. "I came to find my father," she said. Her voice was calm but full of sadness. Aaron sat down beside her. "Do you remember where you came from?" The girl looked at the ceiling, eyes distant. "A place with no air, no sun, only light. They told me he was here." On this world, Aaron frowned. "They? Who are they?" She didn't answer. She just said softly, "They said humans create miracles. My father is human." Aaron leaned back in shock. An alien child claiming a human was her father? That made no sense unless... He stood up and checked the pod again under the microscope. The material wasn't any metal known to science. It looked alive, shifting slowly like it was breathing. He whispered to himself, "This isn't just technology. This is something else." Then he heard her voice again. "Dr. Wells?" He turned. The girl was standing now, staring at a photo frame on his table, a picture of him and his late daughter, Emily. She touched it gently. "She looks like me." Aaron felt his throat tighten. That's my daughter." The girl looked at him with her glowing eyes. "Then maybe you are my father." He didn't know why, but something inside him didn't want to deny it again. Before he could speak, the lights in the cabin flickered. The power went out. Aaron looked out the window and froze. In the sky above the forest, dozens of glowing orbs were descending silently. They weren't stars. They were coming for her. The forest outside Dr. Aaron Wells' cabin was glowing again, not with fire but with light. Dozens of orbs hovered above the trees, moving in silence like silver ghosts. The night air turned electric. The strange energy made the leaves tremble, and the lights inside Aaron's cabin flickered weakly before dying out completely. Aaron grabbed the girl's hand. "Stay close to me." Her skin glowed faintly under the dark. Her eyes reflected the light from the orbs, soft, frightened, and curious at the same time. She whispered, "They found me." Aaron's heart started to race. "Who found you?" "The Watchers," she said softly. "They want to take me back." Aaron pulled her behind a table. "Why, you didn't do anything wrong." The girl looked down. "I ran away. I came to find him." Aaron could hear the low hum from outside like machines charging up. The orbs were descending, slowly, carefully, as if searching for something. One of them stopped right above the cabin. Its light shone through the window, scanning the inside. Aaron felt sweat on his forehead. "They're scanning for life signs," he whispered. He quickly covered the girl with a thermal blanket, the kind he used for experiments that blocked heat signals. The light passed over them once, twice, and then moved away. For a few seconds there was silence again. Only the sound of Aaron's heartbeat filled the room. But the girl wasn't calm. She grabbed his sleeve tightly. "They won't stop," she said. "They always find me." Aaron looked at her, seeing fear and guilt in her glowing eyes. "What do they want from you?" She hesitated. Then she whispered, "I carry something inside me, something they made." Aaron's breath caught. "What do you mean?" "I was born from light and human DNA," she said quietly. "They said I was the bridge between their world and yours, but I just wanted to find my father." Aaron's mind spun. Human DNA, a hybrid? That meant somewhere, somehow, a human had been part of her creation. And if that was true, she wasn't just an alien and she was half human. He stood up. "We can't stay here. They'll track the energy from the pod." He opened the hidden door to his basement, a reinforced lab filled with old tech and experiments. He hadn't used it in years, but it still had enough equipment to hide them. "Come on," he said. "We'll be safe down there." The girl nodded and followed him quietly. As they climbed down, a sharp noise cut through the air, a crack like thunder. One of the orbs fired a beam straight at the cabin. Wood exploded. The roof burst into flames and the heat burned the night. Aaron threw himself over the girl, protecting her from the blast. The explosion shook the ground, sending dust and smoke everywhere. They tumbled into the basement, coughing. Above them, the sound of metal footsteps echoed. Not human, not natural. Something had landed. Aaron pulled a lever, closing the thick metal hatch above them. Total darkness. Only the faint glow from the girl's skin lit the room. Aaron whispered, "What are they?" She looked up. "They're not alive like you. They were made to protect me and to control me." For a few minutes they sat in silence, listening. Heavy thuds moved across the floor above. Slow, careful, hunting. Aaron reached for an old communication console, powering it up using a backup battery. The screen flickered, showing static. He tried sending a message to the town authorities, but the signal was blocked. "They've jammed the frequencies," he muttered. The girl suddenly grabbed his hand. "You can't call anyone. They'll hurt them. They only want me." Aaron looked at her face. It was glowing brighter now, as if reacting to danger. Her veins pulsed with soft blue light. He asked, "Can you control it? Whatever's inside you." She shook her head. "Not yet. When I'm scared, it reacts. Sometimes it breaks things." Aaron felt a small vibration in the floor. Metal tools around them began to shake. The air temperature rose slightly. He realized she wasn't lying. "Okay," he said gently. "Breathe. You're safe here." She looked at him again, her eyes wide and wet. "I don't understand why they hate humans. They said humans are dangerous, cruel, but you helped me." Aaron smiled weakly. "Not all humans are bad, kid. Some of us just forget how to care." For the first time, she smiled. It was small but real. Then the noise came again, a deep metallic voice echoing from outside the cabin. "Return the subject," Aaron froze. The voice wasn't human. It came from everywhere, through the walls, through the ground, vibrating the air itself. The girl shivered. "They know I'm here." Aaron moved quickly to a control panel. He activated a cloaking field, a small device that created a distortion around the lab. It wasn't perfect, but it could hide them for a few minutes. He looked at her. "We'll get out of here." "I promise." The girl touched his hand. "Why are you helping me?" Aaron hesitated. Then he said softly, "Because once I couldn't save my own daughter. Maybe I can save you." For a moment, they just looked at each other, two souls from different worlds bound by loss and hope. But before Aaron could speak again, the ground cracked above them. Dust fell from the ceiling. The machines went silent. Then, a burning light pierced through the hatch, cutting it open like paper. The last thing Aaron saw was a dark figure descending through the hole, tall, metallic with glowing eyes. The girl gasped and whispered, "They sent him." Aaron raised his weapon, heart pounding. "Who is that?" Her voice trembled. "My guardian, the one they made to kill my father." The metal hatch of the basement split open like soft clay. Sparks flew as a tall, dark figure dropped down into the room. Its eyes glowed red, moving from corner to corner like scanners. The air filled with the sound of mechanical breathing, slow and deep like the rhythm of a machine that could never tire. Aaron pulled the girl behind him. The creature landed heavily, cracking the concrete floor beneath its feet. It was made of silver metal, tall as two men with sharp arms and a face shaped like a mask. It looked neither human nor alien, it looked built. The girl whispered, trembling, "That's the Guardian." Aaron frowned. "You said he was made to protect you?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, but he protects their rules, not me." The Guardian's red eyes locked onto her glowing skin. "Subject located," it said in a deep metallic voice. "Return protocol initiated." Aaron raised a small plasma pistol he'd kept hidden for years, an experimental weapon from his old research days. "Stay where you are," he shouted. The Guardian turned its head slowly toward him. Human, irrelevant. And then it moved, faster than anything Aaron had ever seen. A flash of light, a crash, and the weapon was gone, shattered on the floor. The shockwave threw Aaron against the wall. He groaned, pain rushing through his arm. The girl screamed, her voice echoing strangely like two voices at once. One human, one not. The glow from her body grew stronger, bright blue veins shining through her skin. "Stop," she cried. "Leave him alone." The Guardian froze for a second, as if her voice had hit something deep inside its system. Its red eyes flickered. Voice command recognized. Conflicting directive detected. Aaron saw an opening. He grabbed a power cable from the lab floor and connected it to an old generator. The machine roared to life, filling the air with static energy. "Come on," he whispered to the girl. "Get behind the containment wall." But before they could move, the Guardian stepped forward again, reaching out its metal hand toward her. "Return to the vessel. You are not complete. I won't go," she shouted. Her glow exploded into light, bright enough to blind Aaron for a moment. The entire basement shook. Objects floated into the air. The Guardian stumbled back, systems glitching. Aaron covered his eyes, amazed. What are you doing?" "I don't know," she cried. "It just happens when I'm scared." The Guardian tried to regain control, its voice stuttering. "Subject, unstable, must contain." Aaron moved quickly to the lab console. "Hold on, kid. I can help you." He typed commands into the old system, activating the magnetic field he'd built years ago. Blue light rippled through the walls. The Guardian roared, trapped inside the field. Its body froze mid-motion, electricity running across its armor. For a brief second, silence returned. Aaron turned to the girl. "Are you okay?" She nodded weakly. "It hurts." Inside my head, he helped her sit down. "You used energy. You need to rest." But the Guardian wasn't done. Sparks flew from its chest as it broke free from the field with one final surge. The machine fell to its knees, smoke rising from its back. Its red eyes dimmed. Then, surprisingly, it spoke softly. "Error, father code detected." Aaron froze. "What did it say?" The girl blinked. "Father code?" The Guardian looked at her one last time, its voice slowing. "The human DNA inside you. Matches stored pattern. Origin, Dr. Aaron Wells." Aaron's blood ran cold. "No, that's impossible." The Guardian's power core began to fade. It raised a trembling hand toward him. "You are her father." Then the light in its eyes died completely. The machine fell forward, crashing onto the ground, motionless. For a long moment, the room was quiet. Only the faint hum of the generator filled the air. Aaron stared at the lifeless robot, his mind spinning. "That can't be true," he whispered. The girl looked at him with teary eyes. "It means I wasn't wrong." Aaron shook his head. I've never left Earth. I've never seen your kind. This doesn't make sense, but deep inside a memory stirred. One he had tried to forget. Years ago, before his daughter Emily's accident, he had worked on a top-secret research project. They were trying to grow human organs using light-based DNA modification, a theory that could heal people in seconds. The government had shut it down after a test subject vanished in a lab explosion. Could it be that data, that experiment had been taken and used by something not of this world? Aaron's hands trembled. Maybe they used my DNA. My research, the girl touched his arm gently. So, you are my father. He looked at her. For the first time, he didn't deny it. He just said quietly, maybe I am. Suddenly, the Guardian's chest lit up again. Its power core pulsed faintly. A broken message played in the air. A holographic projection. A tall alien appeared in the light with eyes like silver mirrors. It spoke in a calm, almost human tone. Unit 47 report. The bridge must not remain on Earth. Retrieve the hybrid child. If resistance occurs, erase the human host. Aaron clenched his fists. They plan to kill me. And take you. The girl's eyes filled with fear. We have to run, Aaron nodded. Yes, but not far. I think I know where to go. He grabbed a small backpack, stuffing it with tools and data drives. There's an old observatory in the mountains. It has equipment that can send signals far beyond Earth. Maybe I can find who created this and stop them. He turned to the girl. Do you trust me? She nodded. Always. Aaron looked back one last time at the fallen Guardian. Its metal hand twitched once when as if saluting him, and then went still forever. The man and the alien girl stepped out into the cold night. Above the forest, the orbs were still hovering, searching, but somewhere in the distance dawn was beginning to rise, a faint light cutting through the darkness. For the first time, Aaron felt something he hadn't in years. Hope. The forest was silent again, but the silence wasn't peace, and it was fear hiding in the shadows. Dr. Aaron Wells led the alien girl through the thick trees, the cold wind cutting against his face. Behind them, the glow of the fallen Guardian faded into the distance. The night smelled of burnt metal and wet earth. The girl walked barefoot, her faint blue glow lighting the path. Aaron looked back every few seconds, afraid the orbs would return. But for now they were alone. How far is the observatory? She asked softly. Up the mountain, Aaron said, breathing heavily. It used to be a research station. My old team worked there before the shutdown. It has deep signal transmitters strong enough to reach beyond the solar system. The girl looked up at the stars. Maybe we can call them. My people. Aaron shook his head. We're not calling them. We're finding out why they made you, and why they want you back. The girl stayed quiet. Her glowing eyes seemed lost in the dark sky. They said I was a bridge, she whispered. Half light, half human, but I never wanted to be a bridge. I just wanted to find my father. Aaron felt that sting in his chest again. Maybe that's why they're afraid of you, he said. Because you want to choose who you are. They walked for hours. The deeper they went into the mountains, the colder it became. Snow started to fall, small flakes glowing faintly under the girl's light. When they finally reached the observatory, dawn had just begun to touch the horizon. The building stood like a ghost. Broken windows, rusted metal domes, and silence everywhere. Aaron pushed open the heavy door. Home sweet home, he muttered. Inside, everything was covered in dust. Old computers slept under gray blankets of time. The girl touched a console gently. It lit up instantly. Aaron blinked. How did you... It listens to me, she said softly. All machines do. Aaron's mind raced. Her connection to energy wasn't random, it was built into her. She could interact with technology on a level beyond human understanding. He walked to the main terminal and wiped the dust off the screen. The system was half dead, but it still had power from the solar cells on the roof. All right, he said. Let's see if we can find the origin of your signal. As the computer booted up, the girl sat near the big window, looking at the rising sun. Her silver blue eyes reflected the light beautifully. Aaron glanced at her, feeling a strange calm in her presence. For years his life had been empty, full of guilt and loneliness. But now, even in danger, he felt a purpose again. Then the monitor beeped. A signal was coming through, weak but steady. It wasn't from Earth. Aaron leaned closer. It's them, he whispered. The data was strange. Not numbers or letters, but patterns of light and sound waves that seemed alive. The message repeated over and over in rhythm. The girl walked closer. Her eyes widened. That's their language. It means return the source. The bridge must open. Aaron frowned. The bridge. She nodded slowly. Aaron's stomach turned. They want to use you as some kind of doorway. Between their world and ours. The girl's voice trembled. If they open it, will it hurt people? Aaron remembered the explosion that had ended his old project. The blinding light, the screams, the vanishing of his lab partner. Yes, he said quietly. It will destroy everything. He turned to her. We can't let them open that bridge. Suddenly, the ground trembled. The lights in the observatory flickered. Aaron looked out the window. Far in the valley, 3 massive silver ships were descending through the clouds, silent, smooth, and terrifying. They found us, he whispered. The girl grabbed his hand. We can't run anymore. Aaron stared at the ships, his mind racing. Then we make them listen. He began typing quickly on the terminal, connecting wires, rerouting power. I'm sending a reply to their signal. The girl looked confused. But what will you say? He smiled weakly. Something no human has ever said to them before. The signal system hummed. The speakers crackled with energy. Aaron's voice echoed through the transmitter, carried into the sky. This is Dr. Aaron Wells of Earth. You made this child from my DNA. You call her a bridge. But she is not your tool, she is a life. You can't own her. And if you try to come for her again, I will destroy the bridge myself. The message shot into the air like lightning. The sky turned darker as the alien ship stopped moving. The girl's voice shook. They're angry. Good, Aaron said. Let them be. The ships began charging and their undersides glowing bright white, gathering energy for a strike. Aaron turned to the girl. Can you do what you did before? The light? She hesitated. I don't know if I can control it. You can, Aaron said. Because you're more than what they made. You're human too. The girl closed her eyes, breathing slowly. Her glow began to rise on stronger, brighter. The entire observatory trembled as the air around her filled with blue energy. Focus, Aaron said. Don't let fear control it. Let it listen to you. The ships fired their beams in 3 lines of blinding white light cutting through the clouds. The girl raised her hands. A wall of blue energy formed above the observatory, stopping the beams midair. The explosion echoed through the mountains, shaking the ground. Aaron shielded his face, shouting, You're doing it! But the strain was too much. The girl screamed. The energy burst outward, shattering glass and stone. Aaron ran to her, catching her before she fell. Her glow dimmed, flickering weakly. I can't hold it! Aaron held her close. You did enough. You saved us. Outside, the alien ships backed away slowly, their beams fading. For now, they were gone, but Aaron knew they'd return. He looked at the unconscious girl in his arms and whispered, You're not just a bridge, you're the key. Later that night, under a sky full of stars, the broken observatory stood silent again. The girl slept peacefully beside the console. Aaron sat next to her, his mind full of questions and a dangerous idea forming inside it. If they wanted a bridge, maybe he could use it against them. The night was cold and heavy. The mountains around the observatory stood like silent giants, watching the tiny light still glowing in the broken dome. Inside, Dr. Aaron Wells sat beside the sleeping alien girl. Her faint blue glow had dimmed, almost gone. Her breathing was soft but uneven, as if each breath was a small fight. Aaron placed a blanket over her and whispered, Rest, kid. You've done enough for one day. He turned back to the main terminal. The screens flickered weakly, half broken but still alive. Outside, the alien ships were gone, but the threat wasn't. He knew they would return. And next time, they wouldn't just send drones. They would come themselves. Aaron's reflection in the glass looked older, harder. The man who once lost everything, his wife, his daughter, his purpose, now had something new to protect. He whispered to himself, They called her a bridge. But maybe she's a key, and if she's the key, I can build the lock. Hours passed. Aaron worked through the night, typing fast, connecting wires, opening old files from his government research days. He was trying to build something impossible, a shield, powered not by machines, but by her energy. He called it Project Halo. He had once designed the theory, a device that could bend light around a space, creating a barrier that nothing physical or digital could cross. But the project had failed because no known power source was stable enough. Now, he had that power, sitting right in front of him in the form of a little girl from the stars. When morning came, the first rays of sunlight fell through the cracks of the observatory dome. The girl slowly opened her eyes. Her glow was faint but steady. Aaron smiled. "Good morning, little star." She blinked. "You didn't sleep." He chuckled softly. "Didn't have time. I'm working on something that might just save us." She sat up weakly. "The shield?" He raised an eyebrow. "You read my mind?" She smiled faintly. "No, I heard your machines talking about it." Aaron shook his head in disbelief. "You really are something else." Then she asked in a quiet voice, "What if they come again?" Aaron looked at her. "Then we'll be ready. And this time we won't run." They spent the day together, and for the first time, not running, not hiding, just building. Aaron explained everything in simple words. "The machine I'm making will use your energy to form a barrier. Think of it like a wall of light. Nothing can pass through it, not even their ships." The girl watched him solder wires and connect circuits. "But what if it hurts me?" Aaron paused, his hands shaking slightly. "I won't let that happen. I promise." She looked down. "They always said humans break promises." Aaron smiled sadly. "Then I'll be the first one who doesn't." As the hours passed, the girl began to help. She didn't need tools. She touched the wires and they fused together. She whispered to the circuits and they hummed to life. Aaron watched her with awe. "You talk to machines like they're alive." She nodded. "They are. Everything that moves has a voice. Most humans just don't listen." He thought about that for a long moment. Maybe she was right. Maybe humans had forgotten how to listen, to each other, to nature, to the universe itself. By evening, Project Halo was almost complete. A ring-shaped device stood in the center of the observatory floor, glowing faintly blue. Aaron wiped sweat from his forehead. "If this works, it'll protect the whole mountain." The girl looked nervous. "And if it doesn't?" Aaron smiled. "Then we'll go out fighting." She stared at him for a long time, her eyes full of strange sadness. "You talk like someone who has already lost too much." He met her gaze. "Maybe. But you gave me something back, a reason to fight again." For the first time, she smiled. A real bright smile. "Then I'll fight too." Night came again. The stars above were clearer than ever. Aaron connected the last cable, then turned to her. "All right, little star. It's time." She stood in the center of the ring. The blue light began to pulse slowly, matching the rhythm of her heartbeat. Aaron typed the activation code. "Project Halo, Phase 1. Begin." The room filled with light, soft at first, then growing stronger. The machines hummed. The air crackled with energy. The girl closed her eyes, her silver skin glowing like liquid moonlight. Then suddenly, the ground shook. The screens went red. "Warning, external signal detected." Aaron looked up in horror. No, not now." Outside, the sky turned white. A massive ship, larger than any before, and appeared above the mountains. Its shadow covered the valley like night itself. The girl gasped. "It's them." Aaron clenched his fists. "We can't stop now." He turned the power higher. The machine roared, light spinning faster around the ring. But the strain was too much. Circuits burned, sparks flew, and alarms screamed. The girl cried out, "It's too strong." Aaron rushed forward. "Hold on." He grabbed her hand, trying to steady the field. The light around them bent, shimmering like water, and then something extraordinary happened. The light didn't explode. It opened. A portal appeared above the observatory, like swirling blue and gold, full of stars that didn't belong to this universe. Aaron stared, stunned. What did we do?" The girl whispered, her voice full of awe. "You made a door." Aaron's eyes widened. "A door to where?" Before she could answer, a figure appeared in the portal, tall, glowing, and humanoid. The voice that came through was calm, but powerful. "You have awakened the bridge." "The time has come." Aaron stepped forward. "Who are you?" The figure's light flickered. "I am what you once called the architect, and she is the key you left behind." Aaron's blood ran cold. "What do you mean I left behind?" The figure's tone softened. "You created her, Doctor. You gave us the code, long before you knew we existed." Aaron's heart pounded. "That's impossible." The architect's light brightened. "Your science reached across the void. Your grief gave birth to her. She is your legacy, and your mistake. The girl looked at Aaron, tears in her shining eyes. So, you really are my father. Aaron couldn't speak. He just whispered, "What have I done?" The portal began to widen. The mountain trembled. Aaron realized what was happening. The architect wasn't here to talk. It was here to take her, or worse, to use her to open the bridge fully. Aaron grabbed her shoulders. "Listen to me. You don't belong to them. You don't belong to me either. You belong to yourself." She nodded slowly, tears falling down her glowing cheeks. The architect's voice thundered, "The bridge cannot be stopped." Aaron glared at the light. "Then we'll break it." He pulled the emergency lever on the console. The machine screamed. The light around them turned white, too bright to see. The observatory was no longer an observatory. It was a storm of light, fire, and sound. The portal above the broken dome twisted like a whirlpool of stars, pulling air and dust into itself. The walls shook, metal bent, and every piece of machinery screamed under the pressure. Dr. Aaron Wells held onto the alien girl's hand as the floor trembled beneath them. Her silver-blue glow flickered, caught between pain and power. "Don't let go," he shouted over the roaring wind. "I can't hold it," she cried, her voice breaking. "It's pulling me." The light from the portal reached down like a living thing, wrapping around her body. Aaron pulled harder, but she was floating now, her feet no longer touching the ground. A voice boomed from the light, cold, ancient, and full of control. "Return the key. The bridge must open." Aaron shouted back, "You'll destroy everything if you do." The voice replied calmly, "Destruction is necessary. The old world must end for the new one to begin." Aaron's grip tightened. "Over my dead body." Suddenly, everything went still. The portal froze mid-motion. The air stopped moving. Even the sound disappeared. Aaron looked around, confused. The world around him was suspended, like time itself had stopped. Then he heard a faint whisper. "Father," he turned. The girl was glowing brighter now, her body surrounded by a halo of white-blue light. Her eyes had changed, and they were pure light now, no pupils, no tears. "I can hear them," she said quietly. "The architects. They're inside my mind." Aaron stepped closer, heart racing. "Can you stop them?" She shook her head. "No, they're using me to open the bridge. If I fight them, it'll kill me." Aaron's voice trembled. "Then let me fight them." The girl smiled sadly. "You can't fight light with hands, Father." He clenched his fists. "Maybe not. But I can fight with love. And that's something they'll never understand." Time started again, violently. The wind returned. The portal screamed louder. The machines exploded one by one. Aaron ran to the control terminal, typing fast. "If I reverse the polarity, I can collapse the energy field. It'll close the bridge from our side." The girl's voice trembled. "But that will destroy everything in here, including me." Aaron looked at her. His eyes were full of tears now. "Then I'll go with you." She shook her head quickly. "No, you have to live. That's what humans do, they survive." Aaron stopped typing. His hand froze over the switch. He didn't know what to do. His brain said run, but his heart said stay. Then something unexpected happened. A soft golden light appeared in front of them. Small at first, then growing into the faint outline of a woman. Aaron's eyes widened. "Emily." It was her, or what looked like her. His late daughter. The same gentle smile, the same eyes. She reached out her hand. "Dad." Aaron's breath caught. How is this possible?" The golden figure smiled. "She called to me. The key. She found the part of you that you lost." Aaron turned to the alien girl, stunned. "You connected to her?" The girl nodded weakly. "She was lost in your memories. I brought her here so you wouldn't be alone." Aaron fell to his knees. "Emily." The vision knelt beside him. "You don't have to save me again, Dad. Save her." Tears streamed down Aaron's face. "I couldn't save you then." The golden Emily smiled softly. "Then save the one who still has a future." The girl's glow began to flicker faster, her energy building again. "They're breaking through," she whispered. "I can feel them coming." Aaron stood up, his hands shaking but firm. "All right, then we end this. What now?" He ran to the console and entered the final code. The system flashed red. "Warning, irreversible collapse sequence initiated." He turned to the girl. "When I give the signal, you need to release all your energy into the core. Don't hold back." She looked terrified. "But that could kill you." Aaron smiled sadly. Being your father was worth dying for. The girl stared at him, and then nodded. The light from the portal roared, stretching wider. The voice of the architect screamed, "You cannot stop creation!" Aaron shouted back, "Then I'll stop you." The girl closed her eyes, spreading her arms. The entire observatory filled with light, blinding, pure, and alive. Aaron slammed the lever. Now! The energy from the portal and the girl collided, blue meeting white. The sound was like thunder from another universe. The world flashed. The mountain shook. The sky itself cracked open. Aaron saw glimpses, millions of stars, endless galaxies, and in the center, the architect's world collapsing like glass. And then, silence. When the light faded, the observatory was gone. Only ashes, wind, and broken stone remained on the mountaintop. Hours later, the storm clouds drifted away, revealing a quiet dawn. In the middle of the ruins, Aaron lay unconscious, covered in dust. He opened his eyes slowly. The portal was gone. The machines were dead. He sat up, coughing, and looked around. Kid?" No answer. He called louder. "Lila!" That was what he had started calling her. "Lila!" Still nothing. He looked down and saw something glowing faintly on the ground. A small crystal pulsing gently with blue light. He picked it up, holding it close to his chest. The glow grew warmer and a soft voice echoed inside his mind. "Thank you, Father." Aaron's eyes filled with tears. "Lila." He looked up at the sky where the stars shone brighter than ever, as if one of them was smiling back. Days later, people from nearby towns found the ruins. They spoke about a strange storm, a light that touched the heavens, and a man who walked out of the ashes holding a glowing crystal. No one believed his story. But Aaron didn't care. He kept working, rebuilding the observatory, studying the crystal, waiting. And sometimes, late at night, the crystal glowed again, whispering softly, "I'm still here, Father." Aaron smiled through tears. "Then so am I." But far beyond Earth, in the silent dark of space, the architects were not gone. They had seen what the human did, and they were afraid. For the first time in cosmic history, they had learned that love, a human thing, was stronger than creation itself. And they whispered among themselves, "The bridge was broken. But the key still lives." It had been 1 year since the night the sky burned blue over the mountains. The world had long forgotten the strange storm, the falling lights, and the man who survived it. But for Dr. Aaron Wells, the memory never faded. He still lived in the rebuilt observatory, now quieter, older, lonelier. Every morning he'd wake up to the cold hum of machines and look at the small glass crystal that sat on his desk. It glowed faintly with a soft blue heartbeat. He called it Lila's light. Sometimes, when he was working late at night, it would whisper to him, not with words, but with feelings, warmth, peace, a gentle echo of love. And every time he felt it, he whispered back, "And I'm still here, kid." I haven't given up. Aaron had changed. The man who once wanted to hide from the world was now trying to fix it. He started sending secret research papers to global science networks under a new name. Theories about interdimensional energy, quantum life, and bridges between worlds. Most scientists ignored him, but a few listened. A few believed. He wasn't trying to prove aliens existed. He was trying to prove hope did. One quiet evening, as he sat in front of his telescope, he noticed something strange. A star, one he'd never seen before, was pulsing in rhythm. One flash, 2, 3, then a pause. Then again, 1, 2, 3. Aaron leaned forward, heart pounding. "No way," he whispered. "That's Morse code." He quickly decoded it. The pattern repeated a simple message. "I'm coming home." The crystal on his desk began to glow brighter, stronger than it had in months. The heartbeat inside it quickened. Aaron stood up, his chest tight with emotion.
"Lila?"
The light from the crystal grew until it filled the entire room. Papers flew, the telescope shook, and the old observatory walls rattled. Then, just as suddenly, everything went silent. When the light faded, she was standing there, small silver blue, and smiling Lila, the same eyes, the same warmth. But something was different. She looked older now, not a child anymore, but not quite an adult either. Her glow was steadier, calmer. Aaron froze. His voice trembled. You're real." She smiled softly. "You kept your promise. Aaron's eyes filled with tears. He took a slow step toward her. How you were gone. The bridge, she nodded. I broke it. But part of me survived in the light. I followed the signal. Your signal. The one you sent every night. Aaron blinked in surprise. My signal? She pointed to the old radio on his desk. The one you thought no one could hear? Aaron laughed weakly, tears rolling down his face. I wasn't trying to call anyone, I just wanted to talk to you. Lila smiled. And I listened. They stood in silence for a while. The observatory was quiet except for the wind outside and the faint hum of her energy. Aaron finally said, You've changed. Lila nodded. The architects are gone. Or maybe just far away. When I destroyed the bridge, something new was made. A world between worlds. I stayed there for a long time learning what I am. Aaron asked softly. And what are you? She looked at the stars through the broken dome. Not human. Not alien, just a part of both. A bridge that chose not to connect worlds but to protect them. Aaron smiled. That sounds like something a good person would say. She turned back to him, eyes shining. It's something my father would say. Aaron laughed quietly through his tears. You still call me that? She nodded. Always. But peace never stays forever. Suddenly, the observatory lights flickered. The air pressure changed, heavy, electric. The crystal on the table shattered, releasing a pulse of energy. Lila turned serious. They found me. Aaron's heart sank. The architects? No, she whispered. Something else. Something older. The void left behind when the bridge collapsed. It's waking up. Aaron grabbed his coat. What can we do? Lila looked at him, and for the first time he saw fear in her eyes. It feeds on creation, on life. It wants to erase everything. Aaron clenched his fists. Then we stop it, together, she smiled sadly. You can't come where I'm going this time. He stepped closer. Don't say that. I have to, she said softly. The void knows me. I'm the spark that escaped it. Only I can close it again, Aaron's voice broke. You'll die. She shook her head gently. No, I'll become something else. She stepped into the center of the observatory, her body beginning to glow brighter, too bright to look at. The machines powered up on their own, reading her energy like before. Aaron shouted, Lila, please! She looked back at him with tears in her silver eyes. Thank you for giving me life. For teaching me what love means. That's what makes humans special. Not their minds, but their hearts. Aaron's tears fell freely now. You're my daughter, Lila. You'll always be my daughter. She smiled one last time. Then let me make you proud. Her light filled the entire mountain. The sky turned blue again. The same blue as the night she fell from the stars. Aaron shielded his eyes. Lila, then the light vanished. The wind stopped. Silence returned. When the world settled, the observatory stood whole again, repaired, shining, alive. The machines were restored, the dome rebuilt, and on the main screen, one line of text appeared. The bridge is safe. Aaron walked to the window. Above him, a new star had appeared, small, glowing softly, pulsing with a gentle blue rhythm. He smiled through his tears. You did it, kid. The star pulsed once, as if answering him. Years later, when people asked Dr. Aaron Wells about the strange light in the sky that never moved, he always smiled and said, That's not a star. That's my daughter and watching over us. And every night when he looked through his telescope, he whispered the same words she once said to him. I'm still here, Father.